Hey guys, time for another pickup video. I'm gonna be showing you guys I picked up a lot of 8 Sega Dreamcast games, and I also picked up some current gen modern games. So I'm gonna start with the current generation games, I guess. And as some of you may know, I picked up Resident Evil 6 a few days ago, or I actually picked it up on launch date. I did my initial impressions video, and I finally beat the game. I may do a review video, I'm not sure yet, but let me just say that in a nutshell that this is my least favorite Resident Evil game, mainline Resident Evil game. Like I mentioned in my other video, there's nothing about survival horror in this game, and the game does a very poor job of being an action game as well. So the game is not bad, but for being a mainline Resident Evil game, you know, you expect a whole lot more. You expect the game to be more polished and to have a better pacing and better level design. The storyline is not, it's actually interesting, but it's a little bit on the unrealistic side. Way too many large-scale, you know, virus outbreaks going on. But like I said, it's not a bad game, but it's far from being, you know, it's far from being a great game. It does have some interesting online modes that add a lot of replay value to the game. So if you're a hardcore Resident Evil fan, I think you should have it. But otherwise, it's a pretty, you know, I guess below average action game. Also, some of you may know I did an unboxing video a few days ago for Code of Princess for the Nintendo 3DS. And this game is actually fantastic. It's really fun. It offers online co-op and versus modes, which, you know, that's one of the, I guess, negative things about the game, is that when you play online, the game tends to drop, you know, the frame rate tends to drop. The gameplay is a little bit sluggish, but as far as the single player goes, it's actually a very fun game, full of it's an action beat 'em up with RPG elements, and you know, the game encourages you to play it over and over again, because as you progress through the campaign, you unlock more characters and you unlock bonus quests, and then you know, every time you beat a level, you can also level up your character, and you can shape them to be more like a physical type of player, or you know, fighter, or you can improve your magic attacks and whatnot. So very fun game, very nice graphics, very nice animation, but you know, unfortunately the frame rate is sluggish. So but definitely if you have a 3DS, it's a must-get game. Also, Walmart had this really cool offer where they had 3 PlayStation Vita games for $40, and I got Uncharted Golden Abyss, which by itself it's worth $50 at retail. So it was the 3 game. I mean, this game by itself was already worth it to pay 40 bucks for it, and it's actually my favorite Uncharted game. I played Uncharted 2 and the first one. And yeah, it's actually my favorite game. I like the fact that the chapters are very small, so that gives the game a better flow, and it also doesn't exaggerate on the combat scenes, which is something that I really grew tired of in the series. For example, in Uncharted 2, you know, towards the end, it just became a combat scene where you had to shoot down 50 guys, and then you move on to the next room and another 50 guys come in, so you have to cover and you know, use the cover mechanics over and over again, and it just became a little bit tiring to do the same thing over and over again. So this game doesn't exaggerate on that end. It's more, I think it's more focused on exploration and platforming, with very well-placed combat scenes. So this is definitely my favorite Uncharted game, and I'm glad I picked it up. The other game that I picked up in the promotion was Hot Shots Golf for the Vita, and this one is pretty much like the PSP game, which by the way I got not too long ago. It's an updated, I guess, version of the PSP game, and it has better graphics, better, more, I believe more courses, and the game is very like, it's an arcadey type of golf game, but it's really fun. Lots of unlockables. You can unlock new costumes, new outfits, new equipment, and whatnot. Very fun game, and it also has online features. So I'm really glad to pick this one up. The third game, unfortunately, they didn't give you too much of a choice, and I picked Little Deviants, which I already played the demo, and I was not impressed with this. The game is still sealed. I think I'm gonna sell it on Craigslist and see if I can get $15 for it. 15. I'll be happy if I can get $15. I'm just not interested in this game, and with the money that I get for selling it, I'll probably put it towards some other games. Now for the Dreamcast lot, on average I paid $2.50 for each game. None of the games are rare. None of the games are that much popular, but I'm really happy with what I got. The first game is probably not worth even $1, but it was part of the lot, and it's NBA 2K1, and I'm okay with it being included. Back in 2001, 2002, I was really into NBA basketball, so it's kind of funny to go back to this game and look at the rosters and see where the players were at the time, and it brings back memories of watching the NBA season back then. Next up is a whole lot of racing games. I got Test Drive 6, which I have not played yet, but it seems to be, judging by the screenshots here in the back, seems to be a fairly decent racing simulation game with licensed vehicles. So yeah, seems to be a decent game. Next up is actually a game that I find it to be really fun, and it's Hydro Thunder, which is a arcade high speedboat racing game. And I actually did play this, and I liked it a lot. The controls are very tight and responsive. The gameplay is just very obviously arcadey, and really fun to pick up and play. Very well done game. I believe this is also available for the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64. But I'm glad to have this version. It controls extremely well, and it's a very fun game. Next up is Ripping Riders. Seems to be a snowboarding game. I have not played this yet, but it was included in the lot, so why not? Next up is a classic, and it's Sega Rally Championship 2. I love rally games. I love Sega Rally. I remember playing the original one in the arcades, played on the Sega Saturn as well. And I did play this version previously, and it's a really good one. I like the fact that the game has both retro cars, rally cars in it, and modern cars, and you can race with the good old Toyota Celica GTR and the Subaru Impreza and all those cars. So this is definitely a fun arcade racing game. The next game is I'm actually really glad I got this game, and it's Flag to Flag racing, and this is an open wheel. I believe this is the Indy Kart game, and I was pleasantly surprised because I remember playing this back in the day and actually liking the game. And this game has the officially licensed 1998 kart season. So all the drivers and the teams are from way back in the day, and it brings back memories because I used to watch Formula One and Indy Kart with my dad. So a lot of the names in the roster are familiar, and they bring back good memories. I'm really actually this is probably the favorite game that I got in the lot, because it was very nice surprise. I forgot that this game had the license for the 98 season and all that. So the game has an arcade mode, which is your typical arcade mode, and then it also has a championship mode where it adds more of simulation elements, where you can tweak your engine, the suspension, the spoilers and all that. So really happy to pick that one up. And then next up is a game that I saw in the lot, and I was actually looking forward to it, but I'm extremely disappointed, and that game is Fighting Force 2. I played the original on the PlayStation 1, and I remember having a lot of fun with it, but this sequel is just downright disappointing. It controls very bad, the camera angles are just awful, and just the setting itself is just not good. So I'm a little bit disappointed because I was looking forward to picking this one up, but it's good to have it in the collection, I guess, but not the best. It's not the best 3D beat 'em up around. And this game was probably worth for what I paid. Is Grand Theft Auto 2 or GTA 2, and this is the game that got me to bet on the lot, because I really wanted to get this game. I'm a huge fan of the original Grand Theft Auto for the PlayStation, and this is the old school type of Grand Theft Auto where you see your character from an over-the-top view, and it's funny because this is from when the series was not very popular. It's when GTA 3 got released for the PlayStation 2 that the series rose up in to popularity. But this is a very fun old school Grand Theft Auto game that I love the original. I never played the sequel, and I already played this for a few minutes. Unfortunately, the game requires a lot of blocks in the VMU memory card, and mine is, I think, pretty much full, so I'm gonna have to free up some space or get a new one. But really happy to add this game, considering this game by itself goes anywhere in between $10 to $25 on eBay. So for what I paid for all 8 games, I'm really happy, and looking forward to clearing up some space on the VMU and start playing some GTA. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all later.